Hey everyone, welcome to the Weird World Podcast. I'm Carrie.
Hi, Carrie. I'm Dean.
Hi, Dean. I'm Carrie.
That's been going on forever.
Well, this is a very special, non-quick cryptid corner weird bit,
Yeah,
right?
It's kind of rare. Yeah, I'm all about cryptids.
Dean said this afternoon, I can do a weird bit, and it's not about a cryptid. I'm like,
Yeah,
whoa.
Okay, so what do you got for us, Carrie? Go ahead.
You said you had it.
Oh, my bad. Have you heard of a little place called Griffith Park?
Yeah, I don't think it's a little place.
No, it's not a little place. It's actually quite huge. Tell us about it. What do you know? What do you remember about Griffith Park?
They have an observatory.
Mm-hmm.
You can
Where
go,
is it?
It's in Los Angeles.
Yes.
You can go hiking there.
Mhm.
We didn't spend a whole lot of time at Griffith Park.
I've been there.
I've been there
You've
too.
been to the observatory, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I saw.
Oh, that's where you guys used to go.
Went to the planetarium
For
got
special
baked,
time.
Watched Pink Floyd on the planetarium show, and then the planetarium. So I don't think it's so much light around there. I don't think it's a very useful observatory. I don't know if it's used as observatory, but Griffith Observatory was once a major observatory. Griffith Park is over 4,000 acres large. Right there in the city of Los Angeles. It's basically north of the city limits. Well, I shouldn't say that. The city limits of Los Angeles are massive. They include the San Fernando Valley. But north of kind of that core footprint of Los Angeles and south of the San Fernando Valley, which is where the Santa Monica Mountains are, people don't realize that L.A. is the whole kind of, it's sort of horizontally or east-west bisected by a very rugged mountain range called the Santa Monica Mountains. They've got cougars, they've got coyotes, they've got bears. And Griffith Park has all of that.
Yeah.
Surrounded by urbanity. It's considered an urban wilderness.
Yeah.
So for 4,000 acres long, it is, how big do you think Central Park in New York is? The most famous, probably urban park in maybe the world, or one of the most
In
famous.
acres?
Yes.
2 acres. I don't know. I have no clue.
Oh my God.
What?
You think Central Park is 2 acres?
Right,
Griffith Observatory is 4,000 acres. So Central Park, you think, is 2 acres?
Well, I think
Central Park is
there's a lot more room in Los
843 acres.
Angeles.
I know, but you've been to Central Park. 2 acres is tiny.
Is it? I don't know what an acre is.
I am now believing you that you have no idea.
No, I don't know what an acre is. I think an acre is really large.
Acre is 43,560 square feet. It's not that big.
Oh, it's not that big.
So Griffith Park is over 40,300 acres, about 6.7 square miles. It's absolutely massive.
Oh, 40,000? I thought you said 4,000.
I did. Did I say that?
Oh.
4,310 acres, 6.7 square miles. Central Park is 843 acres, about 1.3 square miles. For much, much, much smaller. This famous. I mean, Central Park's huge. Gives you a sense of how big Griffith Park is.
We've walked across Central Park.
Not the whole way. There's more to the north than we did.
Okay.
Okay.
Is it narrow and long? Because I feel
Yes,
like, okay.
It is. So it's considered the largest urban wilderness in any major city.
Yeah.
Some dispute that because there are some huge parks and cities, but they're not really surrounded by the city the way Griffith Park mostly is. Actually on its west side, it's surrounded by open parts of other parts of the Santa Monica Mountains, but essentially it really is on at least 3 sides. I mean, dense, urban, and densely populated suburbia surrounding this huge park, and it's got coyotes galore. Bears will occasionally come in to it. It had a cougar for a long time named P22.
Yeah.
Been actually evidence recently that there may be another cougar in residence there as well. So it's this, and deers, and it's rugged mountains. In addition to the observatory and the planetarium, we get really stoned and watch laser shows. So the reason that Los Angeles has this gem, this massive jewel, is because of a person named Colonel Griffith J. Griffith.
Oh.
He liked the name so much, he named himself twice, or his parents did.
Yeah, I don't think he did that.
He was born in Wales in 1850. He moved to the U.S. as a teenager, and he started out as a journalist covering mining operations in California. But then he started working for those mining companies as kind of a side hustle kind of a thing, which is super unethical. And it turns out he wasn't a very ethical person. But then he started investing in real estates and mines. He became kind of a promoter of mines, and he made money that way. And then he started investing his own. He lost some, he won some. But then he bet on a silver mine in Mexico, and he was able to make a small fortune and become very well off. How rich he was before his marriage, we'll talk about one second, is not clear, but he was wealthy for sure.
Yeah.
He was very well off from his mining and his real estate speculation interests.
Okay.
And so he moved to Los Angeles in 1882. In 1887, he married a woman named Mary Agnes Christina Mesmer. She was a Catholic woman. She was, I think, 36 when, no, I'm sorry, he was 36 and she was 23 when they got married. By the way, she went by Tina.
Oh,
so she was Tina Mesmer and she married him and became Tina Griffith. It was kind of a weird situation, though. He was pretty clearly marrying her for money. She had inherited from a family friend, a local businessman named Andre Briswalter, a huge chunk of land in downtown Los Angeles that made her very, very wealthy.
Wait, he wasn't, he was already fairly well off, or no?
Griffith was fairly well off, but her brother would later say he was a, quote, pretend millionaire and thought he was a lot of talk and maybe not as rich as he claimed and told people he was. It was known that she was going to inherit this land, and he timed it pretty well. Let's put it that way. Okay. He was fully aware. In fact, as you know, back then, this is 1880s, they had negotiations. They had a marriage contract,
right?
And he basically fought to have everything given to him from her.
Wow.
And broke off the engagement at one point because they were kind of hiding. He said they were hiding some of her assets. So it wasn't a love marriage. I don't know what her. I mean, he was very well known, and the newspapers would call it like, the marriage of two of Los Angeles' wealthiest people or something, wealthy families or something like that. But again, they thought maybe he's a little bit of a pretender. Mm-hmm. So he was a draft dodger. He was a pretty sleazy guy, a really hard-nosed business person. In fact, one person tried to murder him by shooting him in the face with a shotgun after he lost a court case against Griffith. Mm-hmm. And he, unfortunately, well, I shouldn't say that, he had accidentally loaded the shotgun with birdshot, not actual shot. So it just caused minor damage to his face, but he was fine. He ran away, and he admitted he admitted he was going to kill him, and he committed suicide. The assassin did. So he was narrowly missed being murdered by someone who, he had wronged almost certainly. He was just, he was vain. He drank a lot, but in public he claimed to be a teetotaler. But he was like a secret alcoholic. He always talked about how rich he was. He called himself Colonel. Never been in the military ever. Complete pretend.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Oh,
it seems
really
like a
is.
Southern thing.
Yeah,
where men were called Colonel if they were never in the military.
It wasn't just a Southern thing back then.
Yeah, apparently.
Remember, he was also, I think it was an English thing sometimes too. Because remember, he's from Wales. So he called himself Colonel. He was, he would never been in the U.S. Army. He moved here in his teens. So not a colonel. He was terrified of Catholics. He hated the fact that his wife was Catholic.
Terrified.
He thought that Catholics are trying to kill him. He would tell people his club, the Jonathan Club, where he didn't really get along with the other people because he was so boastful and different and a drunk and no one liked him. Yeah. He would tell them like, hey, the Catholics are after me. They're trying to kill me. They're sending Catholic assassins to try to kill me.
Oh, geez.
He would accuse bartenders and waitresses of trying to poison his drinks.
Oh, okay.
So as one Jonathan Club member put it, he was, quote, a little nutty. Mm-hmm. But in 1896, in December, he gifted the city of Los Angeles those 4,300 plus acres that would become Griffith Park. The press called it the Christmas gift to Los Angeles. It was a huge thing. It was all over the papers. He had himself put on the park's board so he can kind of semi-control it. He said, quote, recognizing the duty which one who has acquired some little wealth owes to the community in which he has prospered, I'm impelled to make an offer, the acceptance of which by yourselves, acting for the people, I believe will be a source of enjoyment and pride to my fellows and add a charm to our beloved city.
Seems uncharacteristic.
It's incredibly uncharacteristic. Even at the time, and certainly now, there were allegations it was some kind of a tax swindle. Yeah. Remember, this is the weird part. L.A. was just very core L.A. Think downtown Los Angeles. This was considered far out there.
Right.
The wilderness, the boondocks.
Yeah.
And he wasn't able, it wasn't worth very much, most people thought. He didn't think he was going to be able to successfully develop it, and he could stop paying property taxes on it. So some people thought it was less a gift and more of a little bit of a tax dodge, or at least just a way to shore up his finances in some sense.
Yeah.
I mean, he was famous for that.
I mean, but a lot of people owned other land that was probably similarly situated, and they didn't
That's true.
Gifted. They,
No,
you know, you
I mean, thank God he
hang
did.
on to it for the future.
Because this brilliant thing in the middle of Los Angeles is this gorgeous wilderness that's very lightly developed. Like I said, there's I think it's the LA Zoo is there. The Hollywood sign is at the southern end, technically, of Griffith Park.
Yeah.
And, you know, the observatory is there, et cetera. So it's just this phenomenal thing. It is a great thing for Los Angeles to have. I mean.
And it's amazing that they've maintained it the way they have.
It is, too. Yeah, it is. So that's the story. Isn't that amazing? No, Carrie, that's not the story.
Well,
so
I don't know exactly what you're going to say, but I have heard of something.
Have you? Okay.
Uh-huh. But I don't know the details.
So that was December 1896.
Uh-huh.
In September of 1903, Griffith and wife Tina went to Santa Monica for a vacation, which again seems weird. Because Santa Monica was a separate city. There was plenty of nothingness in between Los Angeles, which again, think of downtown Los Angeles is what was historical early Los Angeles was. Santa Monica is on the beach. So it's, what is that, 20 miles?
Yeah. Hey.
Something like that away. It was a beach vacation.
When we lived in Redondo Beach and I worked in Santa Monica, I went for a little vacation in Santa Monica.
You did?
Uh-huh.
Who were you with? It wasn't me.
No, it was like our little annual girls trip, the little shopping thing. And Jack came with me because he was a newborn baby.
Okay. Well, that's good. That's a great story.
Yeah.
But back in 1903, this was like think of like going from the city to a beach town and having a beachfront hotel, the Arcadia Hotel, which I don't believe is there anymore. It was the nicest hotel in Santa Monica. It's right on the beach.
Yeah.
And so they went
I don't think it.
No. They went to Arcadia and they just hung around and had a nice time. And I think it was September 3rd, they did a little shopping, bought some postcards. They returned to their room on the third floor of the Arcadia, and Tina began to pack as they were going to head home, drive back to Los Angeles the next morning. Griffith took off his overcoat and went into an adjoining room. Just a little while later, he returns to the room, and he's holding Tina's prayer book. Remember, she was a very devout Catholic. Mm-hmm. And he handed her the prayer book, his wife, and he said, "Get down to your knees and swear to some questions." She's a little taken aback by this. She's not sure what's going on, but she did as he was told, because as she started to kneel, she noticed that he was holding a .38 caliber Smith & Wesson revolver in one hand. She begged him, like, aim that away from me.
Yeah.
You're aiming that at me. What's going on here? He said, close your eyes. She whispered a little prayer, and he took out a piece of paper from his coat pocket. And as he handed it to her, he reminded her that, quote, "I am a dead shot." And then he started reading from that piece of paper that he'd clearly prepared already with questions on it. He asked her first, "Did you poison Andre Briswalder?" Remember, that was the family friend that she had inherited the money from. He had died of blood poisoning. It was brought on by an infection. There was no suspicion from anyone else in the world about his death, but he apparently thought that she maybe had murdered the person that she inherited her biggest part of her fortune from, which is hugely hypocritical, I think, since he married her for her money.
Yeah.
If she did marry him, it was like, good on you, in his opinion, you would think. She said,
I understand why he might have qualms, because then she might murder him for his money, to inherit his money.
Yeah, and he is super paranoid.
Mm-hmm.
Good point. She assured him, I had nothing to do with him dying. What the fuck are you talking about? She probably didn't say it like that. He said, "Have you ever tried to poison me?" So I think you're right. And she says, "You know I have not, Papa. I have never harmed a hair on your head." It's gross to me that they call you, mom, things like that. And he then said, "Have you ever been unfaithful to me?" And she said, "You know I have not."
She's a devout Catholic.
Uh-huh. He then pulled the trigger and shot her in the eye.
Mm.
So people knew about this, but no one public knew about it. The press didn't have any idea about this happening for a full day. It wasn't until the next day that some of the details of what had happened started to seep out, and the press started to get wind of this. Remember, he was a very well-known, very wealthy, major person in Los Angeles, and so was she.
Wait, did she die?
She is in the hospital in critical condition. And they must have found out somebody probably someone at the hospital must have told someone who told someone who told someone. And so the rumors start coming around. Some reporter from the Los Angeles Evening Express was able to track down Griffith where he was and said, "Hey, your wife is in the hospital. People say she's been shot in the face and she's badly injured." And he says, "Oh, no. I mean, sure, she is shot in the face, but it was an accident, quote, purely accidental. And the wounds are minor. She's fine. She'll be home right as rain any day now."
She just lost an eye. Did she lose an eye?
Yeah. He said, quote, "There has never been any trouble between my wife and myself. We're good. Our marriage, rock solid." Mm-hmm. Within just a few hours, though, the story got out. The story started spreading all over the whole country that Griffith shot his wife, whether she's minor or not.
Yeah.
There was some kind of again. He's saying that it was an accident. He never said I shot her, but the word goes out.
Yeah.
Griffith shot Tina Griffith in the face. What actually happened? So he shot her, and she then jumped to her feet after he shot her, right? She's bleeding. She's covered her hands, her eye, blood's coming out, seeping between her fingers. And so she just sort of semi-blindly crashed through a screen. The window was open.
Yeah.
She crashed through the screen. Remember, the third floor.
Yeah.
She leapt out through that window and smashed through the screen. And she landed on a porch roof about 12 feet below the window.
Wow, that was
room.
Lucky.
It was very lucky. I don't know if she knew he was there or she's just going, he's going to kill
right,
me here.
Yeah.
And he probably was.
Yeah, I think he's going to shoot again.
He probably is. She broke her shoulder blade in the fall, but broken shoulder blade, she manages to crawl back toward the building, and she goes through a window on the second floor.
Good Lord.
And I guess I heard the smash or whatever, or the gunshot. There's hotel staff there. They pull her to her feet and they rush her to the hospital.
She's indestructible.
So the bullet had hit like the rim of her eye socket. And when it hit the bone, it split in two. One of the fragments sort of split off and went across her forehead and injured her badly. And she's bleeding profusely from that. But it didn't really penetrate into the skull of the brain.
That's lucky.
The other one lodged at the back of her right eye. So it went through the eyeball. And they had to go and take her eye out.
Yeah.
And surgically remove the bone from the backbone of her eye cavity, I think is how I read it anyway.
Yeah.
So the wounds were
known as a socket.
Socket. There we go. I like that. She was, quote, disfigured for life. She was incredibly lucky. What happened is that she turned her head the last second. She must have known he was going to fire. When she turned her head, it was able to do that sort of, not, I guess glancing ball's not really right, but it hit the outer rim. Otherwise it would have gone
like right in the middle.
Almost certainly.
Or through
it would have gone into her brain.
Yeah.
Or maybe, something like it very likely would have been fatal had she not quickly turned her head at the last second, the split second. So she's in the hospital. She's in the hospital bed. The district attorney visits her in the hospital and she dictates a statement to the district attorney saying everything what I just told you.
Motherfucker shot me.
For sure tried to murder me. This is for sure attempted murder. No question whatsoever.
Yeah.
Griffith says, "What? She crazy. I told you it was an accident. In fact, it was her fault. She was handling my revolver for some reason. She dropped it. It went off. And that's how she got injured. I don't know why she's saying these crazy stuff. I mean, she shouldn't have been. He said something like she was packing his revolver away or something. So he's arrested and he is indeed charged with attempted murder.
Good.
He's let out on $15,000 bail.
Which is a lot of money.
In 1903, that was probably, again, we believe $7 trillion because it's always, but still a lot of money, but still he was let out. And it was a huge story. From the Evening Post record said the whole social and business world are agog with gossip. So what happened, what really happened, it's who are you going to believe in this situation?
I believe Tina.
I believe Tina. I believe her. Sure. And in February 1904, they had the trial because this is back when things were sane, and they held trials in just a few months after you don't wait 17 years. The Mesmer family, her family, they hired Henry Gage to be the prosecutor. This is back when he still, which is so weird to me.
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't have a district attorney, but then no, you're fine. We're going to hire an ex-governor, now lawyer named Henry Gage. He had an ex-governor of California.
Wow.
We're going to pay him a bunch of money. And they hired a bunch of other lawyers to support. They hired a bunch of expert witnesses. So, of course, did Griffith. Remember, he had her money.
Yeah.
He was given basically all of her assets as virtually a dowry, I guess.
Yeah.
And he, brought in the best lawyers in Los Angeles, the most expensive lawyers in the business. And so she's put to the stand, Tina is, and she talks about how, we were argued all the time. This was not a happy marriage. He drank a lot. He hated that I was Catholic. He would accuse me of, conspiring with Catholics. He had all these delusions that I was trying to plot to poison him or other people were trying to poison him. He would always accuse me of flirting. That's why he asked if he had been faithful and thought that she's having affairs. She was cross-examined then by Griffith's lawyers for like hours. And she finally, at the end of that, she finally fainted and was carried out of the courtroom. So the defense is realizing, okay, we're screwed. They're going to believe her. Quick pivot. I've got it. He's insane. So they quickly, apparently it sounds like from my reading of this, they literally, during the trial, go, no, let's switch to insanity defense.
Which is lovely. Yesterday we said he didn't do it.
Yeah.
Today we're saying, he did it. So, okay, yesterday everybody was lying
It's
then.
pretty evil. So
It's stupid. It doesn't make any sense.
one of the things that worked for them in this case, though, was that when Tina was grabbed by the hotel staff, she yelled, "Oh, the colonel is crazy. He is surely crazy." And they actually made her repeat that on the stand. So that worked in her favor. A procession of medical experts said, yep, we have diagnosed him as suffering from what they termed, quote, chronic alcoholic insanity, end quote.
Okay.
I'm not going to go off my rant about defense expert witnesses. They're all evil and vile, and they say whatever they're paid to say. Apparently, I did go on my rant, but I'll end it there. The prosecution had their own experts and said, no, we examined him, and he's sane. He's unbalanced, but he's clearly sane.
Yeah.
They had some people in for the Jonathan Club that said, he's pretty wacky. He was the wackiest guy there for sure. His LA club. The all-male jury, of course, deliberated for 6 hours, and they came back with what verdict, Gary?
Not guilty by reason of insanity.
You would expect that. It wasn't much better. It was guilty of second-degree murder.
Okay.
They clearly they compromised.
Yeah.
In some sense, they compromised. Clearly, this was premeditated murder.
Which is stupid. He planned it. He wrote out his questions. He brought his gun on. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, no, it's insane. So I'm sorry. That's my fault, Carrie. They convicted him for assault with a deadly weapon, and that's it. No murder charge at all. Assault with a that's my bad. The penalty for assault with a deadly weapon at the time, maximum penalty, 2 years in jail, $5,000 fine. A headline said, "Farce of rich man's trial is over." The judge was furious.
Yeah.
He said, "A more aggravated assault I have never heard of in my experience of 14 years on the bench." He said, "I'll give him the max, but that's the best I can do. 2 years and $5,000. He had spent almost a year. He would then spend about a year in the county jail when his lawyers tried to appeal. They lost that appeal, and then he was sent to San Quentin State Prison. So you would think he's got just a little more than a year to serve. No, this is the better time. All right, maybe it's not if you're innocent. Didn't count. The jail time didn't count. So he served nearly 2 years when he got to San Quentin after that. He was let out. I know, that is interesting. He was let out in December of 1906. And then, of course, what do you think he does after that?
No.
Starts a movement to fix prisons. God damn it. If it affects me and I'm a rich person, then I care about it. That's why every rich person charity is the thing, the disease that affect them directly. That's how it works. So he became like this big reformer, and he started trying to reform, the terrors of prison and things like that. Tina Griffith was granted a divorce while he was in jail on the grounds of cruelty, and she got custody of their 15-year-old son, Vandell. Love that name. She got a lump sum settlement equivalent to about $2 million today, and so nowhere near even half of it, not even close. Remember, she brought much more into the relationship than he did. And by the way, Griffith put his sister in charge of his business interests while he was out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, his sister was really good at that, and he was actually richer when he got out than
when
he went into San Quentin. Yeah,
I thought you were going to say she lost it all.
That'd been great. She should have. He died in 1919 at age 69, and then he would later. He's just as rich. He served his time. He goes right back in these elite circles, but he was tainted.
Yeah,
and
would hope so.
He said, "Hey, I'm going to give the city $100,000 to build an observatory in Griffith Park." And also, by the way, what became, I think, also the Greek theater too. He gave the land and money to build those things. They were kind of like, I don't know, do we take this kind of money from this guy? He's kind of tainted. So they debated for years, and he finally just left the money in his will when he died in 1919. The city did get it, but they didn't sort of take it as a gift and have a big ceremony. They got it after he died, and they actually didn't build those. The Greek theater and the Griffith Observatory were not built until the 1930s, well after he had died, but he did. So this jewel of a park, the wonderful Griffith Observatory, the Greek Theater is one of the best arenas in the world. And just the fact that Los Angeles has access, everybody has access to one of the best city parks in the world, all due to a psychotic who tried to murder his wife. And the whole thing was probably just a tax dodge.
Yeah.
That's the sordid secret of Griffith Park.
Yeah.
Hey, that sounds like a title. Let's call it that. So, that's the story.
Thanks, Dean. That's an interesting little bit of history of Los Angeles.
It is. I'm not trying to be California-centric, but that is an interesting story. Even if I would tell the story even if it had been in another part of the country or even the world.
Yeah.
So if you got a great park in your city and some psycho did it who murdered someone or tried to murder someone, tell us about it. Maybe we'll do a show on it.
Talk about it. Here on the Weird World Podcast.
On the Weird World Podcast. Scary. Wait, hold on. There was something else I wanted to say.
Oh, we're on YouTube now.
Oh, go ahead.
We're on YouTube now.
Okay, tell the listeners about it.
You can't see us, unfortunately. Sorry.
How you know that's unfortunate?
Or fortunately.
I have not aged well.
But you can, if you like to listen to podcasts on YouTube versus other things.
Please give us a listen. How do you find us? Just do Weird World. Is it hard that because remember we've had
there's a couple other there's one Weird World podcast.
Didn't know about it.
She doesn't have a lot of content.
Oh wow, Carrie, don't talk bad.
Well, she doesn't. That's not bad nor good.
No. When we picked the name, the only thing I found was that Weekly Weird Magazine or something like that. So I never heard of this. Was it predate us or no?
On YouTube it does.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Did not find it. Apologize.
But that's okay. So you might have to scroll down a little bit. Just look for our little logo and you'll find us. Yeah.
Okay.
And then obviously once you find us, you just subscribe. And then you just go to and you say how YouTube works.
They know. Yeah, I think they do. Okay.
Yeah. Well, thanks for listening.
Right on.
And go find us on YouTube.
And next time, Weird Bit will be a cryptid, I promise you.
No, maybe not.
Damn it. Okay.
Okay. Thanks for listening. Bye.